Hello, so today I'm going to do another favourite record cover, and this is one where I am actually going to have to definitely go to the internet because the actual original cover, which is what I'm referencing here, is not how I actually have this record. How I have this record is what you see here, which is a compilation album. The album, by the way, is Nevermind the Ballots by Chumbawamba, and its full title is Nevermind the Ballots, Here's the Rest of Your Life, but we end up shortening these things. And so the version I have it on is sometime in the 90s, I believe. Chumbawamba put out a compilation of the first CD of the first two records, and that's how I have it. I don't know where my actual CD is, but here you have in what Alice is holding here. The first record, Picture Slab and Children's Cell Records, and again that has a longer title of Lies. Um, um, Something about charity and lies and traditions. And the idea beyond that being is use the analogy of charity is when it comes to things like the third world hunger is like putting an ambulance at the bottom of a cliff instead of a fence at the top to stop people falling. As in, they believed people should be working on the conditions that cause the situations that cause these starving conditions, as opposed to actually treating it. It's they would prefer prevention rather than cure. And also down here below this lamp is one that I'm going to be doing at some point. It's Penis Envy by Crass. In it, they're showing some of their influences here. The Beatles, the Fall, Crass. But the one I want to focus on is here. The one that Damba is holding is Nevermind the Ballots. Now, I was going to make a folder, like I've done with the previous, with I think it was with the Discharge one, but I found this handy website. There's all the artwork on, which really helps. So this is you can see in here the URL, the address bar here. So check that out. Or just type up Chumbawamba Nevermind the Ballots artwork, and that's how I eventually got to this. So you got the front cover. They're all the artwork in here is taking this hand drawn style, and it's nice and neat where it's got the border around here, and the arms coming out, almost like the arms are coming out from outside the border to the inside. Well, that looks like it's drawn, which is very good. And this type of border around here, I'll do a little spoiler, is I'm going to be putting together another book of my artwork, because the KDP will fell through. There's a whole drama that's going on with that. So I'm going to be putting out one through Lulu, and it's not going to be a cream coloured cover, but it's going to be white, but it's going to have this kind of drawn border around the cover image, and writing at the top there and at the bottom there. And this is a style they actually used for one. I don't know if it's one of their demos or if it's a compilation of the demos where they used this. There's like a picture of Thatcher in the middle, so you have the title on the bottom right hand side. You got Chumbawamba, the name. Here they've done it on the left side, and they've done which was common for anarcho-punk bands or anarcho-punk band people influenced by anarcho-punk, because you could argue by the time they got to this, they had that had gone a little by the wayside. There's still a bit of it, but they were certainly getting a lot more melodic by that point. But the whole thing of putting the amount that you should be paying for it printed on there to make it more difficult for record shops to overcharge. I mean, they could still put a price sticker over that, but by the time you got it home and printed it, pulled it off, you'd be like, "Hey, what the hell's going on?" Some people probably still tried to do it, but that was the ethic beyond there. Some bands like Crass and Subhumans actually literally wrote that "pay no more than." So, I mean, the idea beyond that, see the "pay no more than" is, oh, it shouldn't be any more than this. Well, I'll go and buy it somewhere else. So didn't know it was as late as 1987. This one came out. No, I think the first one came out in '85 actually, so it makes sense. But you've got some information here about it. But I'm here to talk about the artwork. So the record had it was on their own label. It has a gatefold album cover. So when you opened it out, so that's again, here's the front, the back album cover, and here's the rest of the title. Here's the rest of your life, and got someone peeling back the lies, or the thing that you are that's being concealed. Very clever. And you've got some inner sleeves here, again with the graphic of the person being controlled like a puppet, and you've got the lyrics, and they're all done in this very nice handwritten style. That must have taken ages. Nowadays, we would have found a nice looking font and typed it. Um, but this is one they put out themselves, so they would have done this. Now, it does say, he was doing some of what, and so you got the lyrics here, and you've got these great graphics of people cutting the strings, um, cutting the border, the barrier, cutting puppet strings. So that's pretty cool. And so you got here, and it says, well, also again, what was common for these kind of bands like Chumbawamba, but also primarily Crass and Conflict, and the Levelers did this as well. Not that they weren't really an anarcho-punk band, but they were influenced by it. You would have people on this record so they would say who did one the record, but there are other people part of what is almost like an organisation. So you would say like members of Crass this record are yada yada, but then it also says the people who did the artwork, like from Crass's um, in Crass's case, um, it was G Vorcha doing the artwork. But they weren't part of the musical part of the group. Not usually. I mean, she played some flutes or some other little bits, did some vocals, backing vocals. But these, not everybody part of this group is actually part of the music. So you've got um, so then you had they list the engineer as part of Chumbawamba. Someone called Barbara did the lettering. I don't know if she did the artwork as well. It doesn't. I don't think it really says. It would be interesting to find that out. Um, I'm going to assume that she did it, and there and as you, I mean, this is a thing about record covers. However, what was common with these kind of bands, is they would go so far as to they wouldn't necessarily have a boring sticker label for side A and side B. Sometimes side A and side B would just say you'd say side A and you'd say what the songs are on each side. But this they wanted to do, and it'd have like the name, the let the I'm trying to think of the word, the name and letters that identify. Some people call them now SKUs, but it was like so this is as you says Prop 2, which is it was the second one they put out of the album they put out by themselves, an Agitprop record. So Agitprop 2. Crass did it, and how Crass did theirs was they would have a number and then be we're counting down to 1984. So like an album that came out in 1981 would be say like 4B4 1984, and maybe they put another number after that because it would be they wouldn't just put up one record in 1984. They put out a lot of singles as well. I don't know what Chumbawamba did in this regard. I'm guessing their early EPs and demos weren't considered part of Agitprop. But you had these cool and interesting label graphics on the actual record label, which is interesting. So you got like this first one with the two fingers up, and then the guy switching around as to say, well, once you finish this one, go back and listen again. So that's this record. It's also a very good record as well. It's one of the ones all the ones I've done so far. I've said it's a very good record because they are in some form in my record collection. Like I said, I don't have the original artwork version. What I have is this, and it's not the most inspiring of record covers. But let me bring it up again. But it's got some interesting stuff. You've got that screaming mouth there, which looks pretty cool, and Whereas that was always interesting to me because that guy reminded me of a boss I had at the time. Um, and then talking about the actual the two records. And it's got basically the lyrics and stuff. So let me know what you think of this, whether you like this record album or not, record cover or not. Um, I'm very fond of it. As I said, like it's not collage, but it's still a very good. It's still something worth mentioning. It is very influential, and I also might say is the actual. I forgot to say about what the actual content of the cover was because I was more interested in talking about how it influenced me and what I'm doing right now with it. But you've got here like the lone figure of authority handing down the ability to make one decision every 4 years. This is um, um, what the theme beyond the album was. 4 years. So there's 4 or 5 years in this country. They cut. I think if I remember correctly, is they're not allowed to go any longer. They have to do an election by 5 years, but it's not like the U.S. election where it always happens on a certain date. The U.S. presidential election, it always happens on a certain date. It has to be on that day, and the president has to be the votes have to be ratified by a certain date, and there has to be the new president has to be inaugurated by a certain date. It's not that clear. It's not that rigid in this country. The prime minister can call as many general elections as they wanted, and as quite recently in this country last year, in the year before, like a fair few snap elections where it was starting to look like the Weimar Republic, and then also the leaders of the parties, the leader of the it's the party you choose for, not the actual person. So with U.S. elections, you're voting for the president. In this country, you're voting for the party to that runs. Um, so, but here and then you've got usually the hands that are coming up are clamoring for it, but in this case they're resisting because Chumbawamba were an anarchist band. So let me know what you think of this. I like it very much, obviously. Whether if you've got this record, what you think of it, and like, share, and subscribe. And my description has my link to it, my merch links and my socials. And I shall speak to you soon. Thank you.